Hello YouTube, this is Ben Yessel. I wanted to mention just this, make this video kind of short again. This is just something I've known about for quite a while indeed. But I thought I'd go over it with you guys and mention what I tend to consume more regarding these awesome healthy foods. But yes, this is Dr. Fuhrman, Dr. Joel Fuhrman. Dr. Fuhrman's Aggregate Nutrient Density Index, or ANDI for short. Some of you guys probably know about this already, some of you guys don't. Anyway, the idea here is the higher the number, the more nutrients you have per calorie. So again, it's the more nutrients you have per calorie. Now, of course, one of the things that this list doesn't always take into account has to do with there's the amount of nutrients, but the question is what is the variety, or what is the, it's also kind of the how many different nutrients. So it's a variety of nutrients per food. And so there's a question of variety versus amount or density. Anyway, so with Dr. Fuhrman, he says, as long as you remember, the GOMS or G-bombs, greens, onions, mushrooms, beans, berries, seeds, you'll get more of a comprehensive idea of, you get more of a comprehensive kind of thing with regard to all the nutrients you need. But let's go through this really quick, and I'll mention things that I eat more of and whatever. So I'm getting a lot more kale these days, frozen kale especially. Sometimes, occasionally, I'll do fresh stuff. Collard greens, same thing. But a lot of times I'll get fresh collards. I prefer collards over kale, but they're both way up there, really high. I tried mustard greens. They're pretty strong. I'm not really too crazy about them. But I'm getting at least the other two, collards and kale. Watercress I love, but it's just not always very available. Swiss chard, I think it was here it says $8.95, but I've seen on other lists going up to 1,000. So I definitely eat Swiss chard. Bok choy I also have some as well. Sometimes just kind of, sometimes I alternate. These guys would have spinach. I definitely have a lot of that stuff. Arugula, not really so much. It's okay though. Again, it's not quite as strong as mustard greens. Arugula has just a slight peppery thing to it, but I'm not really crazy about it. Romaine, it's in the middle somewhere for me. Brussels sprouts, I'll eat it, but I don't eat it very often. Stuffed carrots, kind of middling as well. Cabbage, not so much for me. I'll eat it though. Broccoli, I have this all the time, of course. Cauliflower, same thing. Bell peppers, I don't really have too much of, but I'll have it. It's still good. Asparagus, I'll have a fair amount of this stuff in the middling range, but it's just a little bit pricier sometimes. Mushrooms, I've had more of these in the past. I haven't had a whole lot of them recently. Try to get some of that more in my system. Tomatoes, not so much. Strawberries, definitely, especially in the summer. Sweet potato, not so much. But all these vegetables and things I'll eat. I don't dislike any of them. It's just that some of them, whatever. Zucchini, I'll eat it, but I don't have it all the time. The artichoke I'll have probably a little bit more often. Blueberries, somewhat more often. Yep, iceberg lettuce, sure, in the middle somewhere. Grapes, I have these guys all the time, especially more recently. And as we go down here, we're still in the very healthy range here. Pomegranates in the winter, cantaloupe, not too often, really. And you can see, yep, cantaloupe is still up there, but I just don't like cantaloupe a whole lot. I'll still eat it. Onions, I have this all the time, a lot of times. Flax seeds, I don't know. What's the point? If you use it in a blender, cool, but anyway. Oranges, I have these guys all the time. Edamame, not so often. Cucumber, yeah, I'll have this guy a lot too. Tofu, not really so much. Sesame seeds, not really so much. Lentils, I have a lot of them, but I just don't eat them all the time. Peaches, not really all that often. I'll have nectarines a lot though. I just don't like the skin. Sunflower seeds, I used to have a lot of these. I need to pick up my sunflower seed intake. Kidney beans. Yeah, I'll eat these. just not super regularly. Green peas, sorry. I have these all the time. Cherries, yep, especially in the summer. Pineapple, yep, I have a fair amount of this stuff. Apples, yep, middling. I'll have these a fair amount. Mango, yeah, sure, but just not all the time. Not really all that often. Peanut butter, I'll have peanuts over peanut butter. Corn, yep, I eat organic corn. Pistachio nuts, yep, I have a lot of pistachios actually. Oatmeal, not so much. Shrimp, not all that often, but I'll eat shrimp as well. Salmon, a little bit more often than shrimp. Eggs, yep, definitely. Milk, 1%. I have almond milk instead of 1% milk. So walnuts, I'll have some of this stuff too. Bananas, yep, sure. A lot of times whole wheat bread, not all that often, really. They don't really have gluten. But at this point, when we get below bread, I think, well, you go a little farther, it's still in the healthy range, but I think when you get down to, well, you'll see what happens. Almonds are still really healthy. I'll have these. Avocado, sure, not all the time, but brown rice, not all the time. White potato, yep, I'll have this here and there. The yogurt, I don't really eat. Cashews, I will eat, but they're just really filling. Chicken breast, yeah, I have chicken all the time. Ground beef, not really so much recently. Ground beef is something I haven't really had for a while. I have beef steaks really more often, but I'll have ground beef still, of course. I don't eat cheese, well, at least not strong flavored cheese. Just very little of this stuff. French fries, sure, I'll have fries on occasion, but if I ever at a place like a burger place, I think I'll increasingly just get burgers instead of with no fries. White pasta, not really all that often. Cheddar cheese, like hardly ever. Never really. Apple juice, yep, I'll get this here and there sometimes, on occasion. Not all the time. Olive oil, it's been a while, but yep, I'll have some of this stuff. Below the olive oil, well, we're already sinking down into the less healthy range. I think if you get down to the basically 20 and below, in that ballpark, okay, beef, whatever. 20 and below, you're looking at not really that great for you to have a whole lot of. If you have a whole bunch of it kind of thing, and but it's also very calorie dense, some of the stuff, like olive oil. You don't really need very much of it. If you ever have cheese, don't overdo it, kind of thing. White bread, yeah. Vanilla ice cream, yeah, that's a dessert. I try to watch that stuff. I don't really. And corn chips, yep, same thing. Cola, oh yeah. So probably my worst, less healthy stuff. I probably will still have juice, and I have to remember not to have the pasteurized juice. I have to have fresh juice. That's a little bit healthier, but still juice is more calorie dense and better just to have fruit. But anyway, there you guys go. And you can kind of tell what stuff I have a little bit more of. I tend to notice things like textures and flavors. I'm not really a huge fan of melons or cheese. There's some other things that I'm not really into as much. But anyway, leave me your thoughts and comments below. This is Dr. Fuhrman's ANDI score list. All right, talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.